Hello everyone, my name is Aksa. Today I'll be presenting on the Ukrainian power grid sector, which is the part of critical national infrastructure sector, specifically energy. The case study I'll be discussing is the Ukraine power grid attack that took place in December 2015. This attack is significant because it was the first confirmed cyber attack to successfully disrupt electricity supply on a large scale. In this presentation, I'll explain the threat source, how the attack was carried out, the vulnerabilities that were exploited, and the key lessons that can be learned. CNI refers to the systems and assets that are essential for a country's functioning, economy, and public safety. These include sectors like energy, healthcare, transport, finance, and communications. The energy sector is particularly important because electricity powers almost all other infrastructure systems. If the energy sector is disrupted, it can affect hospitals, transport systems, and communication networks. Critical infrastructure sectors are highly interconnected. The energy sector supports many other essential services. For example, hospitals rely on electricity for medical equipment, transport systems require power for operations, and communication networks depends on the electricity to function. This means that disruption in the energy sector can cause cascading failures across multiple sectors. Now, moving on to the case study overview, the Ukraine power grid at cyber attack occurred in December 2015. It targeted several electricity distribution companies in Ukraine and caused power outage affecting approximately 230,000 people. The outage lasted for several hours across multiple regions. This attack is widely recognized as the first cyber attack to successfully disrupt a national power grid. The attack has been widely attributed to the cyber threat group known as Sandworm. This group is considered as advanced persistent threat, meaning it carries out highly sophisticated and long-term cyber operations. Sandworm is known for targeting critical infrastructure and government organizations. The motivation behind the attack is believed to be geopolitical, aiming to disrupt Ukraine's infrastructure and demonstrate cyber warfare abilities. The attack began with phishing emails sent to employees working in Ukrainian energy companies. These emails contained malicious attachments that installed malware known as Black Energy. This malware allowed attackers to gain access to the internal systems and monitor network activity. This initial access was the starting point for the entire attack. After gaining access, the attackers moved through the network using remote access tools. They performed lateral movement to identify critical systems and eventually gained access to industrial control systems. These systems are used to manage electricity distribution. The attackers then remotely shut down power substations, which caused large scale power outage. This slide shows how the attackers moved through the network and accessed industrial systems. They began in the IT network and gradually moved into the operational technology environment. Industrial control systems, including SCADA systems and substations, were then accessed and manipulated. This allowed attackers to directly control physical infrastructure and cause power outage. Several vulnerabilities made this attack possible. There was a lack of network segmentation, allowing attackers to move between the systems. Authentication controls were weak, and cybersecurity monitoring was limited. Employees were also vulnerable to phishing attacks. Additionally, many industry control systems were outdated and lacked strong security protections. The attack caused power outage. It disrupted homes, businesses, and public services. Although electricity was restored within few hours, the attack demonstrated that cyber attack can have real-world physical consequences. It also highlighted the vulnerabilities of energy infrastructure to cyber threat. To add on, the attack impacted multiple regions in Ukraine, particularly in the western and the central parts of the country. This demonstrates how cyber attacks can affect large geographic areas and disrupt services for a significant population. It also shows the scale and impact of attacks on national infrastructure. This attack provided several important lessons. Organizations needs to implement multi-factor authentication and improve network segmentation. Employee awareness training is essential to prevent phishing attacks. Continuous monitoring systems should be used to detect early threats. Finally, industrial control systems must be better protected against cyber threats. In conclusion, the Ukraine power grid cyber attack demonstrated that critical infrastructure is vulnerable to cyber threats. The attack showed how weaknesses in both technology and human behavior can be exploited. It also highlights the importance of cybersecurity measures to protect essential services. Protecting the energy sector is now a global priority.